Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the Brooke and Troy Show. My name is Brooke and this is the Autism Diary series. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about how you can benefit from gut health, whether it's for your child or you or somebody you're taking care of, anybody on the autism spectrum. Now, in these videos, they're only going to be about 10 minutes long, so we're really just going to be scratching the surface on these topics, and as time goes on, we'll get more and more in depth. But this is just going to be some quick basics on why we feel like gut health is so important. So make sure you subscribe to our channel for the future videos that are coming up on this series, as well as some additional content, and like us over on Facebook for some additional content over there as well. Okay, so let's jump right in. Now, what I want to start with is actually showing you a picture of our daughter Lonnie. And this picture is from about 3 years ago, and you'll notice that she has what we call shiners, which is really dark circles around her eyes that pretty much just look like black eyes. You can see the tone, her skin tone is actually rather pale. And I can remember, before I knew better, before someone told me, I just thought, well, that's just kind of like a thing that some kids have. I can remember literally consciously thinking to myself, why do some kids have those dark circles? I don't know, it just must be a kid thing. Like how I was just really ignorant to the information. So fast forward to when we started doing biomed. So we decided to start, when we started biomed, we started playing around with different diets. We were really learning how the gut is called the second brain. Have you heard that? Look into that and see how important the gut connection is to the brain. There's so many studies out now that are showing this connection between the two. And so we know that if we want this to work optimally, then we need to make sure our gut is healthy too. Diet really, really, really matters. And so we implemented a lot of different things. Like I said, we implemented diet. We really cleaned up Lonnie's diet, and we added a probiotic. A probiotic was huge. So that's really the big thing I want to talk about today. Again, I keep these videos short, so scratching the surface here, but I really want to talk about the importance of being on a probiotic. Now, me and my husband and my daughter were all on a good quality probiotic. In our gut, we have good bacteria and bad bacteria, and we need to make sure that the good bacteria is outnumbering the bad bacteria. So when we eat lots of trash, lots of processed things, lots of sugar is a big culprit for getting bad bacteria in your gut. So if we have very sugary diets, we're feeding that bad bacteria. And then what happens? It outnumbers the good bacteria, right? And so then the bad bacteria says, I need to live, I need to survive, I need to multiply. And so that can lead to actual sugar cravings. We all have probably heard by now that sugar can be very, very addictive. And that is a contributing circumstance. That's a contributing factor to why it's so addicting. Obviously, we need to clean up our diets, but in addition to that, get on a really good quality probiotic. When I implemented that with Lonnie, she went from being a child that had no limits with food. I mean, I had to cut her off every single time she sat down to eat because she just could not regulate, and she would just eat. I think some of it was even sensory. But she loved trash. She loved eating bad stuff. And we were never, we were never parents that gave her like candy for breakfast or anything. Like we weren't like totally reckless. And I know like some of you just cringed because you're like, oh my gosh, I've given my kid candy for breakfast. Okay, no judgment. All I'm saying is we weren't completely, we were somewhat aware. We weren't totally reckless with it. So we knew we could clean up her diet and remove some bad things and make sure we're getting some different things, some better things in there, as well as maybe play around with dairy-free, with gluten-free, and those kinds of things. And so we started really playing around with those and kind of documenting our results. But what was so powerful is when we did implement that probiotic for her. Okay, so let's talk about probiotics. What you want to look for, I've done some research on probiotics, and what you want to really look for is the right bacteria strains, and you can look this up and see which ones are going to be really, really good for your gut. But another really important thing is to make sure that it has a quality delivery system. And what that means is you don't want to take a probiotic and it get just to your stomach and then it delivers all that bacteria. That bacteria is not reaching where it needs to. So you want to find a probiotic that's really bragging about its delivery system, meaning it's going to get all the way down deep into your gut, and that's when it's going to make that difference with that bacteria. So make sure that you're not using a super cheap probiotic. Make sure it's a good quality probiotic. Do some research on that. My family, I'll just let you know, my family uses Life 9, which is a Young Living probiotic. And again, I've done the research on it, very comfortable with it, but by far, I can say that we have testimony on it making a huge difference in my home. So there's no question about it for us. All three of us take this probiotic and we love it. But there are other good quality ones out there as well. Just make sure that you're researching it and ensuring that it's quality. So a couple really interesting things happened for Lonnie when we implemented probiotics and we cleaned up her diet. We implemented some antioxidants and just improved digestive health. The first thing is that she lost those shiners. Those are gone. So here is a nice before and after picture of Lonnie. The one is the same one from 3 years ago that you can see how pale she is, how dark those circles are. And now look at her today and how healthy her eyes look. Sometimes I just look at her and I recognize how healthy her eyes look. And I didn't realize back then how unhealthy they looked. I just thought it was off. But now I can see how important and how much of a big difference this stuff has made. The other thing I really want to let you guys know is when Lonnie got consistent on this probiotic, within a few weeks, she started turning down opportunities for cake or candy, cookies, brownies, any sweets like that, that really have no nutritional value. Am I right? She really started turning down those things, and that is the first time I'd ever encountered that from her. And I was just shocked by it. And so when we implement any new vitamins, any supplements, any diet changes, we always document. So we always stay on those for a couple weeks, and that is the only change we make for those couple weeks, and then we document our results so that we can attribute certain things instead of implementing 5 different supplements at once and you can't really track. So make sure that you are just doing one thing at a time and really documenting results. But with Lonnie, that's what we saw with the probiotic, is she started turning down those kinds of things, and still to this day, she'll eat them. You know, we go to a birthday party, she'll eat a little bit of cake, but she really, really doesn't go crazy over that stuff. That's a matter of the bad bacteria is now outnumbered. It's outnumbered by good bacteria. And of course, we have had huge improvements in cognition and in communication, and that is for another video. So this is really scratching the surface, but I just wanted to explain how important it is to pay attention to diet, pay attention to probiotics, and make sure that you are getting on a really good, healthy probiotic. The yogurts and things out there, first of all, I would caution you with dairy. A lot of people have sensitivities and bad reactions to dairy. And also, secondly, that really is going to be a small amount of probiotics versus if you're taking capsules. So just do a little research on that. I told you what we use. If you want access to that, let me know and I will get that to you. Otherwise, I would love to hear what kind of probiotics you guys use, anything that you can do to contribute to the conversation to help other people that are just maybe starting this journey or haven't heard this information yet. Please share it, please comment. So thank you guys for jumping on for this video, and we'll be back with tons more information, and we're gonna just again try to keep these videos very short for you. Make sure you subscribe to our page to get the next videos coming out as well as additional content, and we'll see you next time.